In a typical gas station, an attendant made an extraordinary decision to pay for the fuel of a simple elderly man. What she did not expect was the imminent dismissal she would face at the hands of the manager. But the surprising twist occurs when, just 30 minutes later, the owner of the station arrives. What does he have in store for this story of kindness and injustice? Discover the thrilling twist that will transform lives. Hello, my friends. I am Linda, and this is the Linda's Stories channel. I hope you enjoy this story. Christine was working at the gas station on a busy day. The sun was strong, and the station was full of customers in search of fuel. As she served the customers, the woman noticed an elderly man, dressed in simple and worn clothes, approaching. The little old man named Louis had a worried look and a confused expression as he explained to her that he had forgotten his wallet at home and didn't have enough money to pay for the fuel he had just refilled. He seemed genuine, and his voice carried sincerity. Without hesitation, Christine decided to help the gentleman. She opened her purse, took out the money, counted the exact amount for the fuel and handed it to the man, saying, "Don't worry, sir. You can pay me later. I trust your word." Louis was deeply moved by the woman's generosity. He thanked her wholeheartedly and promised to return later to reimburse her. With tears in his eyes, he wrote down his name and address on a piece of paper and handed it to Christine as a form of guarantee. In that tense moment at the gas station, while she handed the money to the elderly man, the other employees who witnessed the scene did not share the same understanding and empathy. Some of them murmured disbelief and sarcasm, questioning the truthfulness of the man's story. "There are always some swindlers around here," said one employee skeptically, while another added with a mocking smile, "That old man is a top-notch liar." These offensive comments echoed, and Christine heard them clearly. She felt a restrained anger at her colleagues' insensitivity. However, instead of joining in with the insults, she acted differently. She approached the elderly man, gently placed her hand on his shoulder and said with determination, "You don't need to worry about what they are saying. I believe in you. Their words mean nothing." Christine was committed to protecting the gentleman's dignity and refused to let him be insulted and humiliated during that difficult moment. As the elderly man left with a promise to return and reimburse her, the young woman faced her co-workers' hostility steadfastly. At the end of the day, when the gas station was quieter, the manager called Christine to his office. He was serious and seemed concerned. One of the employees had observed the scene with the elderly man and informed the manager that he saw her taking money from the cash register to pay for the elderly man's gasoline. The manager said to Christine, "I heard about what happened today. Did you really take money from the register?" The woman, with sadness in her eyes, denied it immediately. She expressed her genuine concern for the elderly man. She emphasized that she believed the man's word and was willing to risk her own money to help him in a time of need. The manager listened carefully, but despite understanding, he said, "I'm sorry, Christine, but it's too late now. If we make an exception, others might think they can delay payment, and this could create problems. I understand your good intentions, but we need to follow the rules." The lack of empathy and understanding from the manager was evident when he decided to fire her, despite her actions not harming the operation of the gas station in any way. It was clear that he was more concerned with company policy than with the situation of his dedicated employee. She left there with tearful eyes, knowing she had lost her job, but also knowing she had done what she considered right at the moment. She did not regret her decision to help the elderly man, as she believed that even if her actions were not accepted by the company, it was the right thing to do. Christine faced many challenges throughout her life, but her determination and inner strength always helped her overcome the obstacles that appeared on her path. She dreamed of finding a stable job that would allow her to support her family. She had faced financial difficulties for years, and unemployment was starting to weigh heavily on her shoulders. She had applied for numerous job openings, but without success. However, she did not give up easily. She continued to look for opportunities, sending out resumes and attending interviews. One day, while browsing the internet for job openings, she saw a vacancy for a gas station attendant in a neighborhood far from her home. She immediately sent her resume and received a call for an interview. Christine was determined to secure a job. At the interview, the woman impressed the gas station manager with her positive attitude and willingness to learn. She explained she was ready to work hard and that the job meant a lot to her and her family. The manager was moved by Christine's story and offered her the job. She then started working as a gas station attendant with enthusiasm and dedication. She quickly learned all the tasks and responsibilities of the position, from fueling cars to dealing with customers. Even on tough days, after a long commute to work, when the weather was bad or the customers were impatient, the lady maintained a smile on her face and treated everyone with kindness and courtesy. Over time, Christine proved to be an exemplary employee. She saved every penny she earned, determined to give her family a better life. On that day, after being laid off, she returned home with a heavy heart. As she opened the door to the modest house she shared with her mother, Isabel, and her lovely daughter, Louise, she knew she would have to share the sad news with them. The thought of disappointing them tormented her, as that job opportunity had brought a glimpse of hope and stability to the family. Upon entering the house, she found her mother in the living room. Isabel, with tenderness, asked, "How was your day, Christine?" Christine hesitated for a moment, but then gathered the courage to tell the truth. "Mum, I have something to tell you. I lost my job today." Isabel was surprised and worried. She stood up with difficulty due to her leg pains and approached her daughter. "What happened, my dear?" she asked. Christine explained the entire situation, from the encounter with the elderly man to the conversation with the manager and her subsequent dismissal. As she told the story, her daughter Louise approached, concerned about the sadness in her mother's voice. Louise, only 10 years old, had an incredibly mature spirit for her age. She hugged her mother and said, "Mum, you did the right thing. What matters is that you helped someone in need. We'll figure this out, I'm sure." Isabel also supported Christine, although she was worried about the family's finances. She knew how generous and compassionate her daughter was and believed that, in the end, everything would be all right. Even with the news of the dismissal, she did not regret her compassionate action. She had demonstrated to her co-workers and to her daughter the importance of doing good for those in need. Together, they would face the challenges to come, united by love and the conviction that kindness and compassion were always worthwhile. While Christine, Isabel and Louise were sitting together in the living room, sharing ideas on how to face the situation, the phone rang, breaking the silence of the room. The woman, with a curious look, picked up the phone and saw an unknown number on the display. She answered the call with some expectation. A calm and friendly voice on the other side of the line replied, "Hello, my name is Olivier. I am the son of Louis, the gentleman you helped at the gas station today." She was surprised and moved to hear Olivier's voice. "Oh, Olivier, it's a pleasure to talk to you. How is your father?" Olivier explained, "My father was deeply moved by your generosity and your help. He told me the whole story when he got home, and I wanted to contact you immediately. I found out you were dismissed from your position, and I am very sorry for that." Christine responded, "Don't worry, Olivier, I have no regrets about what I did. Helping your father was the right thing to do." Olivier continued, "I would like to come over to make the payment my father owes you. He is truly grateful for what you did, and I want you to know that we are honoring our word." She was touched by Olivier's sincerity and gladly agreed to the visit. She gave him her home address, and Olivier promised to be there soon. In a short time, Olivier arrived at the woman's house. He brought with him the amount of fuel his father had used earlier, along with heartfelt thanks. Christine not only accepted the payment, but also invited Olivier to join them for coffee. As they spoke in the living room, he could see that Christine was a truly friendly and generous-hearted person. He admired her compassion and determination in helping his father, despite the difficulties it caused her. He also noted that she was a humble and simple person, yet she helped without judging his father. Olivier then decided to reveal an important detail that he had kept secret until that moment. With an expression of gratitude, he looked into Christine's eyes and said, "Look, actually I'm the owner of the gas station where everything happened." She then widened her eyes, surprised by Olivier's revelation. "You own the station? I had no idea." Olivier nodded with gratitude and decided to share a secret he had kept until then. He revealed that he was the owner of the gas station, emphasizing his appreciation for the kindness and understanding shown by Christine. Olivier then shared important information. "My father has been experiencing some memory issues, and recently he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's." He continued to explain the events of that specific day. On the day he appeared at the station, he wasn't there to refuel his car. He was going to visit his son Olivier, but due to the confusion in his mind, he acted spontaneously, forgetting the reason he was there for a moment. Unfortunately, Olivier was stuck in traffic and couldn't contact him in time. He also emphasized that they were trying to get used to these new issues with his father, and they could no longer leave him alone. That's why they were so moved, because he could feel that there was still kindness in people during such a vulnerable time for his father. Olivier's revelations cast new light on the situation, explaining the reason behind the elderly man's behavior that day. Christine, listening attentively, felt deep compassion for Olivier's family and was grateful for having had the opportunity to help, even though she was unaware of the circumstances at the time. Then Christine said, "Olivier, you and your family are going through a very challenging time. I understand now why your father was so confused and distressed that day." Olivier smiled, appreciating even more the generosity and kindness she had shown. He was impressed not only with her character, but also with her resolve and interpersonal skills. "Christine," began Olivier, "I want to make you an offer as a way of thanking you for your generous heart and for everything you've done for my father. I own a gas station that needs a manager, someone I can fully trust. After getting to know you better today, I feel that you would be the perfect person for the job." Christine was surprised by the offer, and at the same time, moved by the trust Olivier was placing in her. She looked at her mother, Isabelle, and her daughter, Louise, who were also present in the room, and saw in their eyes the hope for a more stable and bright future. Olivier continued, "I offer you training and an immediate start as manager at my gas station. I am confident that, with your work ethic, compassion, and leadership skills, you will be a valuable addition to our team." The woman felt her heart brim with gratitude. She knew that this opportunity was not just a job, but a chance to provide a better life for her family. With a tearful smile, she accepted Olivier's offer and thanked him sincerely. What began as a simple act of kindness at a gas station had turned into an extraordinary turnaround in Christine's life. Her generous heart had not only touched the life of Olivier's father, but also provided her with a significant professional opportunity that would benefit not just herself, but her entire family. The unexpected encounter with Olivier showed that sometimes acts of kindness can open surprising doors and create connections that transform lives for the better. If you enjoyed, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment with a number from 1 to 5 to let us know how much you liked the story. Also, watch the video that is currently on your screen. See you soon.